Hi, welcome back to the Two Yachts First Saint podcast, powered by Acorn Joinery Leeds. Myself, Gaz, Carl, and Jordan here as usual. How are we doing, lads?
Yeah,
Might be a
good.
daft question for you, Jordan, I know, but I'm sorry.
Uh, well,
I'm not one
all
to
right.
gloat, so we'll be all right. Yeah, so straight in with the playoff review from Carl.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again. We had some absolute cracking games Friday and Saturday. Lots of talking points, and obviously lots up for debate and discussion and interpretation. So we'll start with Friday night. Obviously, Wakefield Trinity visited the home, the Lee Leopards. The Lee Leopards came away with a 26 points to 10 victory. I think one talking point in that game, fellas, was Lockie Lamb. I think he was very lucky to be
Yeah,
on the pitch for as long as he was. I mean, what was your take on it, Gaz?
from what I've read and stuff, he's very lucky to have stayed on the pitch, and his panel review is going on to next week now, so he's free to play Wigan.
It's certainly something that needs looking at and it's up for debate. When I get round to Bad Lads Corner bit later on in the pod, we'll talk about an incident that wasn't seen at the time, but there's been an allegation made against Lockie Lamb by a Wakefield Trinity player. So, but the game itself is pretty much how I'd thought it would go. Credit to Wakefield, they got themselves into the playoffs, and I think it took its toll in the end. But to be fair, Jordan, Trinity came back and showed a bit of fight in that second half, mate, didn't they?
Yeah, no, they did. They did. They're always like I've said a couple of weeks back. They're a quality team. If you try and shut off for a second, do you know what I mean? It's obviously I know it's not the game you like to talk about, but they did a number on you, didn't they? So it's one of those, like I was saying, when top six going into playoffs, the top six places can be top at table. It kind of shows you that when it gets to playoff rugby, it can sway, can't it? So full credit to them. Full credit to them. I agree. I do feel like it were end at road after that when they played Lee. Um, it's one of those. Lee are obviously a far better team. Wakefield will just be happy with doing what they did. I mean, if you look at records, I'm pretty sure Lee Leopards are the only team to go into playoffs from being promoted, and now I think Wakefield at same. So that's two big records there, really.
Yeah, so I think Wakefield, they can hold their heads up high from what they've done. Obviously, like you say, they got relegated, came back up, and then finished in the
Yeah,
playoff place.
yeah,
So, fair play to him.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you guys. You know, I think from where they've come from, so in such a short space of time, Darryl Powell's been brought in. They've built that squad, haven't they? Basically within a season, haven't they? And they've got right
Yeah,
on right on the fringe of the playoffs, got into that seventh spot. Wakefield certainly give it a good crack, didn't they?
yeah, and it shows where the league's. I know we've got some. There's been a lot of inconsistent sides like down the bottom half, but when you look at teams like Jordan said with Lee coming up, going straight into the playoffs, and now Wakefield have done it. Who's to say the likes of, say, like York and or London
yeah,
coming up doing the same thing?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's definitely hope for all them potential teams coming up off the back of what Wakefield have done for sure. Isn't that right, Jordan?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, like I say, I'm sure if you'd have asked Darryl Powell at the beginning of the season, I mean, I know there's no relegation promotion, but his idea would have been definitely try and keep as close up to the playoffs as possible. He wouldn't have expected playoffs. Um, Coming straight back up again, a couple of investment on players and stuff. You expect him to, do well, but not probably not getting playoffs in first season back. Um, but when you actually look at the team, they've actually got a really good team. They got Johnston back, didn't they? Which were rumoured for a while. Like I said, Jowett runs show, doesn't he, with Lino. Yeah, I've got a good team, really have. There's no stopping them progressing next year. I see him probably doing the same thing again next year, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I won't be surprised myself.
As
I mean, I believe they make some decent signings as well.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I was just about to say, Gaz, actually, that think it's one of them with Wakefield. They've got a massive stepping stone now, haven't they? And if they could add 2 or 3 bodies each season for the next couple of seasons, certainly going to be up in the playoffs every year and possibly challenging for 4th and 5th, aren't they, if they keep progressing?
Yeah, I mean, I've been told by like Wakey fans that they've got a 5-year plan from when they got relegated. One was to get back up and then gradually build. And I think they've achieved more than even they expected getting into the playoffs. So it's
But
a massive stepping stone that.
it can go one way, it can go other way as well, which is a bit, it's one of those things in it where, like you say, they had a 5-year plan. They've done it in kind of one season. It's one of those things, and it's like they feel like they might not do that next year, and it's like, will that be a failure if they do? Because like you wouldn't have expected them to be playoffs first season back. I probably would have expected them to be like where Huddersfield, Catalans were, like not bottom at league,
Yeah.
but like 8th, 9th, 9th, 10th. And like, then the year after you progress upwards, but because they've got playoffs first season back, it's one of those things, and it's like, as you're adult, as like Darryl Powell will be thinking, no, it'll be good enough, then playoffs again year after. You know what I mean? They'll want to repeat, won't they?
Yeah, I mean, with absolutely no disrespect to Wakefield and what they've done, but if the likes of Warrington and Catalan were what they usually are,
Yeah,
I mean, would they get
yeah.
there? We wouldn't be in there, if I'm going to be 100% honest.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
Warrington and Catalans, even Huddersfield, they're going to be a different animal next year. They can't be where they are next year.
no,
So, it kind of goes in a thing with like why I was so like annoyed with everything with it at the end of the season sort of thing, because like Catalans aren't where they used to, aren't normally where they are. Warrington, let's be fair, Warrington are a playoff team, every season more or less. And it's, what I mean, you've got likes of, like say, Castleford who'll want to do better as well, getting a new coach. And then obviously you've got these other teams that are going to come in that are going to spark it up a little bit and make it exciting.
Going back to what you've just said about Catalans being stronger and Warrington being stronger and all those types of teams, for me, it's a massive positive, isn't it? Because it shows that, if that happens, that the competition's getting stronger each year.
Yeah.
And then if
Yeah,
the likes of York come up and London come up and, the rumour to do what those 2 type of teams, for example, are going to do, it only bodes well for the competition being stronger year in, year out. You know what I mean? So
it does.
It's a credit to Wakefield where they're at, and it's a credit to the competition at the moment. So enough said about Wakefield. They can, end the season with the heads held high, so to speak. Just a little touch on Lee Leopards. I mean, they're a threat massively out the Gaz.
yeah, and I still tip them to be in the grand final. I think if they can switch it on at Wigan, I think they'll get over the line. And that's not me. That's me taking my Saints hat off as well. Not disliking Wigan. It's just what I'm seeing.
No, you are right, mate. They're a massive threat, and I'd have been rather facing, I prefer to face Rhinos or Saints, no disrespect, rather than in Wigan's position and facing Lee. Because like you say, if they're taking it on, Gaz O'Brien, Lockie Lamb, Mbappe, all the strike weapons they've got across the board. You know what I mean? If there's any team concerned over Wigan at the minute, it's probably the Leeds Leopards. I mean,
yeah.
What would you say regarding that, Jordan? Do you think they'll get the better of Wigan? Sorry.
Well, it's a repeat, isn't it, of last season? So, you'd like to think they've learnt the lessons. And I know they've invested in players, and they've got that combination. I mean, Latchton Lamb and O'Brien, they're really good together, aren't they? Definitely made the team what they are. And then obviously you got like see Charnley and that on the wing, which and Brand, obviously Brand's been a massive player this season, massive. I don't know, it's one of those I would love to see. Like I've said before to you, Carl, I like the underdog. I would love to see Lee do Wigan. I really would, because that'd throw it all up in air. That it really would.
I believe Lee are now the favourites to win it.
What grand final?
Yeah.
Really?
From what I've seen on Love Rugby League, anyway.
I would say about about Wigan is that Wigan normally turn it on when they need to, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I was
as
just
much
about to
as
say,
Wigan will have their hands full, so will the Leopards. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So
I I personally, with finishing on what I was saying, what I was going to say at end is, uh, I do see Wigan winning, just because I don't see Pete letting a season go without at least challenging for a trophy. Like, they got quadruple last year, and what they're going to not have nothing this year. Like, I don't know. He's just really what he come out and said for a week and stuff, and saying like, they're a different animal. Like, they're really up for it and blah blah blah. And he commented in saying that he didn't get top at league. I know we spoke about it last week, about if they'd have got it, they deserved it. They didn't deserve it, but he obviously thought that they should have had it. So it's one of those, isn't it? But just the mentality of his how he's thinking and talking, I just believe like they have to get to grand final at least. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but I think they've got to. Otherwise, I wouldn't say he's in trouble, but it's not a good look, is it? From season
Yeah.
before, they kind of like done everything in one season and then just done a fault season after. It's not something you want, is it? You want to maintain, don't you? So,
It
I
goes to
think,
show how much KR have leveled up as well this season.
yeah, no, 100%, yeah, 100%. If you'd have said that at the beginning of the season, you know, I'd have been more than happy to say KR would have won a trophy, but I wouldn't have said they'd have won two and
Yeah.
potentially three. I wouldn't have said that.
I think it's mentality of Wigan, and Gaz will tell you, and yourself, John, from Ranners of the old, that there's spells of 3-4 seasons where Rhinos have won it all, Saints have won it all, now
Yeah,
Wigan have won it all. It's a
yeah,
mentality thing. So
yeah,
I don't see them not being switched on.
yeah,
And he, like you say, you're right in what you're saying. Matty Pete has them right on the button when he needs to have them on the button.
yeah,
And
he
I
does.
think
Yes.
that'll be. I think that'll be evidence at the weekend. So we'll.
I think it'd be tight. I think it'd be tight. I
Yeah,
think it'd be a
definitely.
tight, very tight game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna win.
So we'll pack that one up. A small matter of Saturday night's game, gents. Yeah, it was a funny old game, wasn't it?
Should we put our gloves on now or
No, no, no,
nah,
no,
nah.
no,
Hey,
no.
listen. I'll I'll start by saying even when we got the penalty at the end, I was ready to hear the final whistle, clap the players, and just go back to the coach and go home. Was not expecting it at all. Maybe 3 years
Yeah,
ago, potentially wouldn't have given up, but the way our seasons have gone recently, I was like, yeah, we're beaten. We're beaten.
it was one of them games where it ebbed and flowed. It was like Saints would knock on, Leeds couldn't take the opportunity. Then Leeds would knock on, Saints couldn't take an opportunity. So me as a neutral, I'm watching it thinking, this is a right bloody game. This, when you've got
Yeah.
no connections to then two clubs, it's like what a watch this is.
Yeah.
And obviously there was talking points, and there was the issue of the no try and all that type of stuff, and it does make for good viewing as a neutral, like I've just said. But for you two guys, it must have been pulling at your heartstrings, especially you, Jordan.
Yeah. It's it's an hard one. It's an hard one. Uh,
It's like I said to you, listen, if we had lost in the same way, I'd, I'd be frustrated as well.
yeah. I mean, I personally thought we did enough. I think when it went over 2 points and it was 14-6 with 20 minutes remaining, I thought that were game. I thought we both kind of went off towards the end, and we were both like Carl was saying, knocking on here and there, and both of us. I was looking at the Saints, and they weren't doing a lot with ball. There was that last 20 minutes, and we were tackling well, and then we'd get ball, and then they tackle well, and it went so flat to a point
Yeah.
where I felt like everyone was tired, and I was just watching it first time ever. I can actually say I've watched a game, and I've just sat there 20 minutes going, right, we're 14-6 up here. no fancies going on. We're just taking plays gently like that. Do you know what I mean? We're not going to probably score another try. I thought at the worst, Saints might have scored towards the end, and like had it close, sort of thing with that. But I thought there were a few decisions that went either way. I know there was a Ryan Hall knock on with the leg that I suppose can go either way because he's got to get up and play the ball. And then either a bit of interference with the leg. I personally would have said that was a penalty, but yeah,
I think the officials had a shocker all round.
yeah,
I think it was safe to say that.
I think, like I said, there were a couple of knock-ons with Leeds. I know McDonald knocked on a few times when it wasn't seen. There were a couple of errors. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys have read, but I read the RFL have come out and said that they made the mistake with the
they've actually
drive.
Matthew Shaw's actually come out with more now, saying that they've admitted to making mistakes to the way. It's one of them. Like I say, I think the officials had a nightmare either way.
I don't want to hear that though. That's the thing. I'd rather not know that. I'd rather not know that. I'd rather them just stick to what they said. And as much as I disagree with it, just back what they said. I mean, this is like probably one of the conversations we're probably going to have later down the pod, I would have thought. But I just got a massive ick, that's the right word, with just how that like decision were made. Do you know that? Yeah, I mean the referee, right, is on his knees and he sees Benison put the ball down, right? My brother's messaged me, by the way, and he said it's a try. He said it's 100% try. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying. So we've disagreed on that. But you look at the ref, and he's down on his knees, and he's seeing the ball put down. He says no try, right? So why? I don't understand why he doesn't just say no try. I understand it's 4 or 5 minutes before end of the game. It's potentially Saints' season over. I understand, I suppose, for respect-wise, you've kind of got to say it's a big moment. There'll be hell on if I don't say go to the screen. But for me, this is what really does my head in. When someone's overturning a decision, right, when the ref has said no try, if he'd have said try and video referee, then fair enough. It probably would have been given and you'd have expected that. But I just have this big problem with the overturning. Like, I'm sure you guys will agree. If the video ref's got to overturn a decision, he's got to have 100% reason behind it and all the facts, all the angles, all the whatever to overturn that decision. The ref said no try, and he looked at every angle that he wanted to see, gave it a try, and then as soon as the try were given, it shows you the angle that he never saw, that we never saw. And it worked.
I will be honest. From one angle, it's a try. From another angle, it's not.
Yeah, but do you know what? Do you know what? Right, and I'll give full credit where it's due. I really will. That try at the end, obviously, you see me do my rewind on TikTok. Having a little play with it. I do stick to what I said. That if Benison's try want to try, obviously that wouldn't have happened, but it did. I can't take away from what Saints did with that try. That would do or die. I don't think, hand on heart, putting a Leeds hat on, Leeds wouldn't have done that. Rhinos wouldn't have done that. If that were the opposite way around, Rhinos wouldn't have been able to do that. And I think that's a testament to Saints to proving that when they say don't write off the Saints, that's clearly a statement because. And I also thought it was a bit creepy as well, Gaz, that last week it was 25 years.
On Monday, was it?
Yeah,
last week, yeah.
And then on the same week, that happens. So, like I say, I thought that do or die. That's why I didn't do a try week this week because I'd have to give that and it'd kill me watching that game. That had to be.
I knew there was a.
There is factors in it. I mean, if Leeds keep the defensive line where it's supposed to be, instead of chasing the ball.
Yeah, they were
We don't
panicking.
get
They were
through.
panicking.
We don't get
Yeah, they
through.
were panicking.
Yeah, it was panic. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was panic.
So,
On
I
the
mean,
flip side to that, there was a couple of moments in the first half where I think referee missed a couple of knock-ons. I think Jenkins, he should have been sent to the bin,
yeah.
and then
And
after that,
so should Tiernan.
Yeah,
yeah,
to be
Lee
fair,
scored a try off the back of one of them. I mean, ultimately, I think the moral of the story is we can accept the small decisions not going our way, but when the decision is so big, important, and has a
yeah,
massive factor on the outcome of the game, I
yeah,
think they're the ones that are hard to swallow, aren't they?
yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
So I think that is the moral of the story.
We've all had to deal with it. We've
Was
all been
Yeah,
it?
of
there.
course we
Do
have.
you know, just when they were passing and commenting, they're going to score, like literally my heart broke. And I was just like, yeah. And then Wello running on pitch, just knowing that he didn't have to go to job centre on Monday. I was just like,
That's just
Yeah.
led me to my next question. That Gaz, I was just about to say in a yes or no answer, has that result saved his job? Do you think?
Until Saturday anyway.
so when we were saying before, and we said like, I think it was last week, to be honest, we said we just wanted a good game. We didn't want it ruined by sin bins. We don't want it ruined by red cards or whatever. And like, I wouldn't say like say the game were ruined. I thought like,
It's put a controversy on it, hasn't it? It's put a bit of an asterisk on.
yeah,
Yeah.
well and start accept beat. I mean, they're like a grand final at Leeds game, and I just think like, surely they've got to go and, I mean, I'm sure we'll agree there were a bit of luck there. I suppose when they were throwing ball around, short ball bounced, didn't it? When Wellsby threw it, and it was like, and then Tristan Taylor did that, amazing throw. Any other day that could have gone forward. It could have gone backwards. It could have gone behind players. Everything just seemed to work.
But it just landed in a pair of hands.
Yeah, and it would do or die. Everyone was just wanting that ball, and it is what happens. But just that performance, that last 2 minutes performance, I feel like you can take that, put that in an 80-minute performance. I think it's stuff like that that can scare teams as well. You've still done it and you're there. You're 80 minutes away from grand final. So regardless of what I think or how the game went, bottom line is you're 8 minutes from grand final and it's now your week to play, Carl. So
We overall over 80 minutes we're going to have to be a lot better if we're going to get results out there. We have to be a lot better.
Yeah.
Say Jordan is, it's a credit to Brad Arthur where he's got. I know you're upset with the result and rightly so, but look how far they've come this year. So take the positives, mate. You've still got some good players there. You've got a good coach who's getting pretty much the best out of them at the minute, and I'm sure Rhinos will be there again next year. You know what I mean? So credit.
I'm proud of them, mate. I'm proud of them.
Yeah, exactly. Credit to them and St Helens live to fight another day with a 16-14 win over the Rhinos. A couple of other results we've got Championship semi-finals. York Knights beat Halifax Panthers 30 points to 18. I think pretty much York's ticking all the boxes for Super League status. Yeah. And then the other semi-final was Toulouse Olympique. They beat the Bradford Bulls 24 points to 20. Again, Bradford aren't really doing much for me. They're failing in all areas, but that's my personal opinion. So the championship final will be York Knights versus Toulouse Olympique. Sorry,
put him back in, Cal.
I know, yeah, I need to. So that'll be played this weekend, I believe, coming at the York's Place. I'm going to start giving the wheelchair game a bit of a mention as they had their grand final yesterday. And I was reading a bit on this actually because Halifax Panthers, they beat the London Roosters 42 points to 32. Halifax have now completed the wheelchair treble, so massive credit to them because to win one trophy is, difficult in any sport, never mind to win three in the same season. So what I did pick up from that game, there was a bit, which was I've never seen it before. I've watched quite a bit of wheelchair stuff last couple of years. There was actually a bit of a scrap going on at one point. I don't know if any of you boys saw it. There was one of the Halifax players got a little bit. I think he threw the ball at one of the London players, and then somebody wheeled across the pitch and started basically trying to rive the other one out the chair, which was obviously we don't condone violence on the podcast, but it made for good entertainment. So
you want to see the dog get a bit of passion in the game. You know what I mean? It's what you want to see.
Put it this way, I wouldn't want to be in one of them chairs when somebody's smashing into me. You know what I mean?
They don't mess about that, law. They really don't mess about.
Oh, no, they certainly do. I mean, they come from all angles and put a shot in, and then sometimes they're on the floor, then they're picking themselves back up, and it's certainly entertaining. So if anybody listening who hasn't watched any wheelchair rugby, fill your boots next season, because it's one of the most entertaining games out there at the minute. So, yeah. So a shout out to them, and congrats to Halifax Panthers on the treble. That brings us on to Bad Lads Corner. Not too many in this week's. We've got Jay Pitt up. He was up for late contact on the passer of the ball against Lee. He got 1 penalty point, no further action. Oh, Jordan, you've got some bad lads in here, my friend. We've got 3 Rhinos players out of 4 players in total. Matter. So we've got it. No, but we have to update the viewers, don't we? So James McDonald, he got a dangerous contact, 1 penalty point, no further action. Cooper Jenkins, as I said earlier, I thought he should have gone to the bin for this, but obviously it's been picked up afterwards. There was 3 penalty point for a high head contact. Harry Newman, the favourite son. Again, head contact, 1 penalty point, no further action. And the one very bottom, an allegation was made by a Wakefield player regarding Lockie Lamb. The actual incident, I thought he was going to get done for it. He hasn't been done for. This is for unacceptable language against an opponent, and it's going to be reviewed by the RFL in the next few days. I believe Wakefield and Lee have got to put their own version of events to the panel for them to decide the outcome of that. Like Gaz said earlier, Lockie Lamb is free to play the semi-final this week against Wigan, so that's probably a relief for a lot of the Leopards fans. Yeah, and
if they get through it,
bad lads.
If they get through it, they're without them in the final.
Yeah, well, that will be.
Thing is, I don't have seen them winning that if Lamb would have been banned. You know.
No.
Yeah, well, he definitely
makes the team tick, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he certainly does. So we'll see the outcome of that and see what goes on. Yeah, so that concludes Bad Lads Corner. Gaz, we haven't got a team of the week this week, but I believe you want to pick a couple of standout players instead, with us only having a couple of games.
Yeah, it's hard to put a 13 together, but if one of them, there is Lachlan Lamb. We've discussed him a lot, but taking the Bad Lad side out of it, he ran the game like he normally does. Oh, he was spot on. Another player out of EMART is Chris Hankinson. No, he made an early mistake, got his head together, and went over a great winger's try. And the other one, and Jordan, I'm sorry, but it's Harry Robertson. Just the way he ran, he drew the defenders over, left a massive gap on the other side. Yeah, and do you know what though? The composure from that as well. Instead of just he just got on with it.
He made that try. To be honest, he did.
Yeah, he just got on with it, even though Connor tried to decapitate him.
Yeah,
but it's just his movement, his footwork, the pace, the composure. Like you seen the video part out there with the Swan Lake behind it. It's like a ballet dancer moving around the pitch. And if not for that run, we don't score that try. We don't score it. Yeah, I had to do something.
Yeah, it was nice.
So yeah, there's me.
I don't know about you, but I think as a neutral looking on, if Harry Robertson doesn't start them steps, he don't create that space, he don't fracture that defensive line, he don't create the space on the other side. So I think without him doing what he did, I don't think Saints score that.
I think if you look at it, Gaz, when he cut back inside,
yeah,
and you could see all the Rhinos players drawn to that. And
that's what I mean. He drew the defence line in,
and then he went back to wing, and then got clobbered, and then he did obviously pass to Sailor. But that's where that flick Sailor, that's where all that gap opened up. So he brought them all in. It was ridiculous.
Well, like you say, I mean, if he if he doesn't make that run, like, and obviously the Leeds defence line stays where it is, where it's supposed to be,
Yeah,
then we just end up running across the line, and then something's got to give. Then
yeah.
I think there's a kick going or what, I don't know, but I say if not for that, we don't win that game. So Barry's there.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Definitely. What I'm going to ask next, Jordan, is there anybody that stood out in the two games for you?
Um, I thought Connor played well. Um, he kind of, to be fair, he played just as well as I thought he would do. He would dictate, and you can definitely tell we've missed him because I don't know if you guys will admit or not, but you could see in the attack it were like all the players could do the job. You know, everything was just slotting into place. He would dictate in play. All the
Yeah.
props just tackling well. Everyone was running hard. It was just like we were just missing that person who were like a boss. Basically, we were just missing that boss on pitch. So Connor for me, I'd probably say Harry Robertson as well. I thought he had a good game. For me, I feel like he's got to start next season. Like get a decent shirt number.
Oh yeah,
I don't know where he'll play. I'm sure he's a winger, isn't he? But I don't know.
he's full back by trade.
Is he full back?
Yeah, we've got enough of them.
Like I say, there'll be some shuffle with Lomax and that Wortley and
Yeah,
etc. So I'm sure you'll be signing big in after pre-season.
So
Yeah.
fair play to
there you
you,
go.
Jordan. So yeah, there's a couple I want to delve into, and then there's a couple that I'm just going to reel off because they're not so not too important in terms of our teams. So the first piece of news is Chris Hill calls time on a 21-year career. Is served for Lee, Warrington, Huddersfield, Salford, playing 565 career games, including 37 for England and 4 caps for Great Britain. Jesus, he's a train, isn't he, Gaz?
a player I wouldn't mind having at Saints at some point, at any point in his career, to be honest. Always turned up, good leader. Like I said, led by example, got it done. Had the odd moments where he's tried to nearly ended someone's career, but yeah, one of those players, reliable. It's the best word I can say for him.
No credit to him, and like we always say to the next professionals in the game, we wish him all the best with retirement. The next piece of news, Widnes Vikings sign halfback Jordan Abdul. He is former Rovers, former Hull FC and former London Bronco. It's only a 1-year deal, so it looks like he's trying to get back into the game. Well, I say small. It's good for us, for Hull KR supporters. Mikey Lewis signs an extension of 5 years until 2030. It means a lot, but it doesn't mean a lot to me. All it means is the NRL are going to have to pay his contract out if somebody comes in for him. That's correct, mate. Yeah. What I am hearing and what you do in the goldfish bowl of Hull is people hearing that he's happy. He's obviously got kids here, new partner here, family here. So I don't believe he's going anywhere. He already said he wants to build a legacy. He's won his first silverware with the club this year. So I only see that, going from strength to strength. A rumour is the next one, not a done deal, so to speak. Castleford centre Sam Wood. He's obviously ex-Rovers as well, so I know a bit about him. He is rumoured to join Super League hopefuls, the York Knights. Again, another team ticking a box to try and get up there. Sam Paul Vaughan, aren't they? Rumoured with Sam Wood. There was rumoured with Matt Duffy.
Yeah.
So again, he'd tick
John
a box
Bennison
for them,
also.
wouldn't he? Oh yeah, John Bennison, as we discussed last week. So yeah, making one or two, 3, 4 signings. So that'll push their argument for Super League.
There has been another done deal, by the way.
We've got an exclusive.
Shane Wright has signed for 2 years. That was announced about an hour before we started.
On to a new segment of ours. Former Warrington and Salford lock Ben Murdoch Masilla. He's hanging his boots up after a 16-year career. I mean, Jesus, he was a tank and a half, wasn't he? I mean, he used to knock a few people about, that's for sure, Jordan.
Oh yeah, leading hell. He were a scary player. I used to hate playing Warrington just when he were playing. he's one of those players that really gets in your face, and he's played in NRL a lot of years. When he came over, he's one of those that you don't want to play against. He's one that you want on your team, 100%, but you don't want to play against him.
Yeah, he was an handful, that lad.
I think he's one of those type of players where there'd be 4 or 5 bodies around him trying to
Oh
pull him
yeah,
Yeah.
down to the ground. Yeah. So the last piece of news, which I don't think I wrote down to you boys, but I heard it on the wireless on the way home. Will FC sign Catalan back rower Artur Romano on a 2-year deal? Again, the black and whites are building out there for the next, year or two, 3 years. They've signed a few Saints boys. They've got some youth coming through, and now they've signed the Frenchman. That is Artur Romano, and that pretty much brings news round to an end, Gaz.
Good signing in my opinion. I don't know where Richard Mille is getting the money and cap space from, but I mean, as long as it's legit, then fair play to him.
Yeah, that's it. It's like I say, that they're our arch enemy out there, but they are building, and like we touched on earlier on in the pod, if these teams can build, it only makes the competition stronger and more appealing to watch, doesn't it? So
That's it.
can't
Yeah,
knock anybody. Can't knock anybody for building and making the product as best as possible. Because we haven't had so many games. Obviously, it's been semi-final week. We've introduced a new segment to the pod, which obviously myself, Gaz, and Jordan have agreed to. So the segment is called Ins and Outs. It's a series of 5 questions. I'll ask you both, in or out, and you'll tell me which one you prefer or what you should happen, and then I might put a bit of a spin on it with some extra stuff as well. So the first question, lads, would you like to see more captains challenge, or would you like just to stick with a one?
um, I think the concept of it is right. I mean,
Yeah.
if you get it wrong, then yeah, you lose it. I'd like to see captains use it better. Because in the NRL, it took a while, but they're using it better now. But it'll just take a bit of time. But I do like the idea of it.
I think it's a little bit like playing Sonic on Sega Mega Drive. It's like, yeah, you win a captain's challenge, you get an extra life. Like for me, it's I think one is enough. I'm very much on fence about captain's challenge. As much as it's a good concept of like it helps the players have a bit more of a voice and stuff. I think also it's kind of making refs a bit lazy of making a decision themselves. It's never been a problem before, in all the other years, and for me, it just brings up a lot of controversy. For me, it makes things happen that some decisions go your way, and it changes games, and I think it's a bit unfair sometimes. Um,
Oh, so we've got an in and we've got an out. Uh, I would say in, but I'd like to see more challenges available. So in the NRL, I believe they've got 3 challenges per team. Tell me if I'm wrong. The only downside of that is there's a few more stoppages in the game. There's goods and there's bads to it all, but I'm definitely, even if they just keep the one challenge, I'm definitely in. So
just
it's two wins versus one out.
on there, Carl, before you move on.
Yeah.
For me though, the captain's challenge, it's for me like you just said then, perfect example about the 20 minutes thing. I didn't hear about that, but obviously I can understand it. Like for me, I've watched games this season and they've done captain's challenge just for the sake of it. Just to eat time away or
It's just to
annoy
keep up
other
with the NRL.
teams.
We're
Yeah,
just trying to
yeah.
match them. That's all it is.
And it's
Ultimately, for
all
me though, don't you agree though? I'd rather it take a bit longer and get the right
yeah, I
decision.
know, yeah. I know what you mean.
So
I know
my,
what you
my
mean.
my question to you is, yeah, we've talked about it, but I'll just briefly touch on it again. So like that try that was never a try against Leeds at weekend. If they'd have took twice as long but got the right decision, would you have been happy with that? You would,
Yeah,
wouldn't you? Because anybody in
yeah.
the right mind would be. as long as we get the right decision. So I suppose there's goods and there's bads about it. So I take on board what you're saying. I think the time does need to be quicker. And like I've said with the
Yeah.
captain challenges before, I think also in the stadium, supporters in the stadium need to understand and hear what the team's actually challenging for. The only people that know what the challenge for is people sat on the sofa at home when they can hear the referee's mic. So I think we all agree that we want to keep the challenge, but the captain's challenge, but I think it needs to be tweaked. And I think the overall quality of it needs to be better.
Yeah,
If you
I
look at
think
the
it does need to be executed better.
if you
Yeah.
look at the Lomax with Hanley try, that was done properly. I were a bit like, God's sake, Hanley scored. What's going on? Lomax straight away. No, captain's challenge. And when you looked at it, it were right. It were right call. Wanted someone getting taken out? Didn't they? Saints play Saints play got taken out, didn't they? In
Yeah.
play, which meant Hanley had that gap to score, which he wouldn't have had. That I agree with, and I'm like, right, 2 seconds. It literally nearly 2 seconds. Had a look, and that were it. There were no 5 minutes waiting for it. We're right. That's done. That I agree with. I just like say I don't agree with when they're doing it for the sake of it to eat time away, or yeah, they're just doing it. Like I say, I've watched games this season, and a team have done it 30 seconds before end of game, and I'm just like, why? Just to kill some more minutes, and I'm just
They use it as a game management tool, don't they?
that's what
So
I
there's,
mean.
like I said, there's going to be goods and there's going to be bads, mate. So topic number 2, quick yes or no: do we keep scrums?
Yes,
Um, yeah, because it's part of the history of the game. We had the COVID season when we were without him, and the whole point of having the scrum is set up a set play, which
yeah,
you didn't get from a play of the ball. So
yeah,
scrum's in.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think we can all agree on that. There's 3 ins there for the scrums. Topic number 3: do we introduce a 2-point field goal?
No,
I don't see the point. I don't see the point
so
because
one.
in my opinion, if
See,
that
see
makes
for
sense.
me, it kind of puts a downer on having a 2-pointer point, penalty. I feel like
Yeah,
that's why it should stay the same because if you can do a drop goal 2-pointer, it then overshadows a little bit having a penalty. Like for me, a penalty is 2 points because it's a penalty, and a drop goal is a drop goal because it's 1 point. Like for me, that's how it should always be.
yeah. I mean, what is it from
Yeah.
40 meters out and more?
That's it,
Yeah,
mate. Yeah,
something like
anything
that,
past
Yeah,
anything past the 40.
yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it might. You see it in the NRL, and bearing in
yeah.
mind,
Well,
mate, not 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 many not many Super League teams can drop a goal nowadays. So I don't think they're going to
yeah,
be dropping them from 40 plus to you. So we're going for
yeah.
3
Keep
outs
keep it at
then.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you agree, Jordan?
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Sound. Uh, topic number 4. We're seeing throughout the course of this season, we've seen a couple of players get dished out green cards. Do we extend that time for that green card? Because for the amount of I think it's 2 minutes, Gaz, is it? Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen enough of it to make a judgment on it. I mean,
Yeah,
I personally, I've only seen one that was fouled the other week, but yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the player because if they are actually hurt, then obviously they're coming off anyway and they're getting subbed. So I
I
don't
think
really
I
think
think
it'll make
Ryan
much
Hall could have
difference.
had one.
Yeah,
If you saw, Ryan Hall had a gash on his eye. Um, so I thought he might have gone off. To be honest, that looked quite
Yeah, I
nasty.
think it's I think it's one of them where I think it needs a court of looking at. I think you need to keep it in the game longer and see if the referees use it to their discretion more, like we said the other week, in terms of isolated incidents rather than yeah, you know what you're getting with a yellow card. But I think the green card is probably more for the referees' safety, so to speak.
yeah. I mean,
So I
if
think
it's for like a head injury, then I don't think it should be used for that because obviously you know how much they flap over it now. But if a player's gone down holding the shoulder or whatever, where they can stand them up and get them off the pitch, then
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough.
that's
So,
it.
but I mean,
So
for me, I've not seen enough of it.
no. So are we in or are we out, lads?
I will say in based on if we see more of it.
Yeah, I'd say him. Yeah, because it can only serve a purpose, can't it? Like Gaz said, if it's done right and it's for someone who's hurt or whatever, you'd
Mm.
rather him be getting off the pitch and getting sorted, wouldn't you? Than
Yeah, I mean
you're
it's
not you're
done
not
to
going to
stop
get a.
play acting, hasn't it?
That's what I mean. You're not
Yeah.
going to get a green card if you're messing about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's one of those. It's using it right way. Then yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think we all agree with that. It needs a bit more time and referees to work with it a bit more. So, fifth and final topic in the ins and outs segment is can actually use it an example of the Leeds game and Saints game that we've just watched this weekend. Are we in favour of sending these tries and no tries up in terms of
Right.
so if there's a try, referee sends it up or not?
I think out of the five, this is going to be the easiest one. Take that, seal it in concrete, and dump it in the sea because it is absolutely useless.
Yeah, yeah.
Either
Well,
say referee
to
either says I'm not sure, have a look at it, or I'm giving it, or I'm not giving it.
Yeah, well, I think that'd have pretty much. I won't say it'd have solved the problem that weekend, but these people knew where this, because like they're looking to try and, have you got insufficient evidence to overturn the on-field call?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if the on-field call's not there to be used against, then they probably get the right decision, don't they?
Yeah, so I'm not
Not
sure.
just that.
You have a look.
This is the
Yeah,
thing though.
basically,
Like I said though earlier, and I totally respect it. I totally understand. It was a big moment, and it was a big like late on in the game. It was like literally last few minutes, wasn't it? I understand 100%. Even though he was down on his knees and he could see, and he could see what it was. He said no try. So for me, if the referee say no try and he can actually see it to say no try, why send it up? But
Yeah,
I also understand that he says no try, that season over for St. Helens. That season
yeah.
over.
I
Goodbye.
mean, if the ref just
So
goes, I'm not sure, check the grounding for us.
yeah,
Don't say
yeah,
try or no try. Just check the grounding, please.
yeah, yeah.
And it's
to be
just
to
easier
be
for everyone.
fair, though, Gaz, the referee didn't even need to say that. I think the referees have been hung out to dry with that rule because if you ask a referee now at any level, they'll just want to give a decision, and then if it's a case of they give a decision and while the kicker's waiting to convert the try, then they make a formal decision. So it could send it as a try. It doesn't just need to take the element of overturning it out of the equation. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
that's what's killing it at the minute. If the referee thinks it's a try, fine, send it up as a try, but don't be giving it all this insufficient evidence to overturn it. Let
yeah.
the video referee use the
Can I
technology that they've got to get the correct decision, regardless of how long it takes.
can I just add one more point in there? Just reverse that Benison try, yeah, reverse it. Say it would have the ref says try, but send it upstairs. Are you saying he overturns that and says no try? No, he doesn't.
It depends on the angles, which they
He's
should have looked at all of them.
I
Like I say,
I think
because
he agrees with ref though. That's
yeah,
the point that really frustrated me is when the ref said no try and he sent it up. I'm quite happy and buzzing because I'm like, right, ref said no try. That's like a lifeline for Leeds. So the video referee has to have significant evidence to overturn it. And I'm looking at it going, nah, he can't say 100% that's a try. So for me, if the ref would have said on the field try, but still sent it up, I reckon he'd have gone with ref and gone, yeah, we'll give try. You saw it, you've seen it, you think it's a try. I just will go with you. That's what's happened a lot this season, and I
yeah.
think that's what
No, you're
needs
right. It has.
picking out.
I just think they put themselves under pressure, don't they? With the actual phrases that they use. I just think
Yeah,
that send it up, whatever you think it has, but that doesn't need to be the final decision, and they don't need to
yeah,
find insufficient evidence. That's the job in the bunker, so to speak, for them to get the correct decision. Even if the refs got it wrong on field, I
yeah,
just don't. I
Yeah,
just think all the terminology is wrong. All the terminology is wrong, and they're just putting this. The RFL are putting themselves and the referees under pressure by making them make that call. Just take
yeah,
the interpretation away.
yeah,
Let the referee ref the game on the field, and then if he's got the wrong call, use the video technology we've got to get the right one. That is my overriding emotion with it all. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
essentially what the
So
referees are doing, they shoot themselves in the foot by saying, "I don't think that's a try. Have a look." But they're telling the video ref to like
yeah, yeah,
find something wrong with it or find
Yeah.
something
yeah.
right with it, and
See, the
it
thing is
just
as
baffles
well,
me.
if like I said, the Benison try, we all saw, didn't we? That after the try were given, we saw we saw the angle, didn't we? That weren't shown, which I think were just appalling. So maybe when you have to think about it, should there be more angles put on, more cameras,
Hmm.
Do you
more?
know what? I've been saying this for years. A lot of us have been
If
saying
you
this for
can't,
years.
if you're giving it to a video referee, right, and let's say you're doing this decision, Benison try, right? It's big. It's the biggest decision you're making for a season because Leeds are going home or Saints are going home, right? So it goes over. Ref says no try. Goes to video ref. That video referee has to have all the angles, all the buttons he needs to assess that try. Helicopter view, zoom in, whatever. All the
And that's
technology.
another issue. The camera quality is not as good as
No,
like
it's not.
football and whatever.
It's not. It's
But
not.
every time they slow it down, it's blurred.
Yeah, it is. It is. And for me, if he hasn't got
Ultimately, they're giving themselves a
everything
problem,
there,
aren't they?
Yeah,
if he hasn't got everything there, it can't be sent to him for me. So that just, yeah, that's a big no-no for me. That's something that needs to be invested in. If they're going to do it properly, it needs to be
yeah,
done like that. Like Gaz said, if it's blurry, why the hell are we doing it?
yeah. We can all agree, like whichever example you want to use, that this thing does not work.
No.
Yeah. It's out for all
It's an
three of us, isn't it?
absolute out, absolute
I
out,
think
biggest out
that's
ever.
yeah, it's pretty much a no-brainer, so to speak. So yeah, that concludes that. Jordan, do you want to preview the two semi-finals, mate?
Yeah. So we've got Wigan and Lee on is it the Friday night?
Yeah,
Um, I'm sure it's at Wigan, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's at Wigan, isn't it? I mean, I'm all down for these neutral grounds again, me. Do you know like they used to have? So I think it's quite nice. As I say semi final, it should be equal on both sides for me. So I'm a bit like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think with
I
that,
think
but
There's no way
I think it
Carl's
works
agreeing with
well
that
in
after
cup.
finishing top.
No. I think it's good in the cup games. Don't get me wrong. I think Challenge Cup semi-finals. I think they stick to them with neutral venues. But I think in terms of if you was to do that, you'd be punishing the most two consistent teams in the league throughout
Yeah,
27
you
rounds.
finish 1 and 2, yeah, and you've earned that right.
yeah, but I
I
mean, you've
think
got that
so.
week off. Does that not help really as well? Like you've got a week off to rest your players from HIA, injuries, etc. It's like what you get that and a home tie as well. It's almost like having one hand on trophy in it in a sense because you go you go to your stadium, Carl, and you play in St Helens. You've got crowd behind you. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It might just be me because I'm sour.
You won't be listen. You won't be saying that if you finish first or second.
Yeah, it's gonna just
That,
ignore me. I'm being sour.
that was going to be my next question, Jordan. So roles reverse. You'll finish top of the league. You won't double. Hey up, Jordan. You're not having an home semi-final, mate. You're away at Wigan. Would you
Yeah,
fancy
I
that?
want to play at Wigan. Yeah, no,
Oh,
no,
behave
yeah,
yourself.
no. I'm being
uh,
sour. I'm being sour there. No, going back to seriousness. No, so we've got Wigan and Lee. Um, I think it's a tough game. I really do. I think Adrian Lamb wants to probably get one over on Wigan. I think it'll come close. I really do. I really do think it'll be a tight game. I think it probably will be a better game than the Saturday game, if I'm being honest. Um, I see Wigan scraping it, probably 6 points, 4 points, 6 points. I think it will go the full 80 minutes. I think, like I said at the beginning of the pod, I think Pete ought to lose that game. I think they need to at least, at minimum, get to grand final. I don't feel like he can allow them to lose, but I would love to see Lee win. I would take Lee winning that any day. I would love to see it, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah,
So I think we're going to win that.
it depends on how Lee handle Bevan French for me. If they can keep him quiet and
Yeah.
obviously score the points, then yeah. I think Lee's defense might be a bit too much. Again, if they keep Bevan French quiet and you don't give Jay Field any space, but
Hmm.
again, you got Junior and Semba who could bulldoze his way through the defense or whatever. So tight one. I'm going to say Lee, golden point winner.
Ooh.
I'm only saying that because if we get through these, I want them knackered.
Go on, Carl.
Oh, there's no favours at this time of the year, Gaz. You know that, don't you?
Nope. Oh yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I think Lee will be strong, but it pains me to say. We all know how Wigan are at this time of the year. You've just touched on it with Bevan French, and even if he's not quite at it, they've got Jarfield out the back and
Yeah.
Wardle in centre, haven't they? And it's
Yeah.
like there's no weakness. There's very little weakness there in that team and the squad. And if the 13 on the pitch aren't quite doing it, they turn to the bench, and more often than not, they make the difference, don't they? So I think it will be close, but I expect a Wigan win if I'm honest, Jordan.
Yeah, no, 100%. So yeah, we've got well, 2-on-1 really there, isn't it? So we in a way we're kind of saying Wigan at grand
I'm only
final.
saying because I've been saying Lee for a few weeks to go to that grand final now, so I'm going to stick by my word.
No, I mean, like say if you go off last season, they're going to want to do what they didn't do last year, aren't they? They're going to want to. So yeah, we've got that, and then Saturday it's your guys' turn. I'm backing myself out of this. I'm not playing.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
the
Um,
mighty Rovers versus the last second St. Helens.
yeah.
Wide to wide.
It's like I said earlier on, we're going to have to be better over 80 minutes, a lot better. Um, a lot of danger from KR with Jez Litton, Mikey Lewis. Uh, yeah, we could have to have the right game plan. I think we've got the players, we just need the game plan.
Do you think? Do you think?
Our defense will have to be spot on again.
Do you know we've obviously Kale having a week off? Do you believe? Obviously, this is me saying it. This is just a question to you guys. Does that being taken to that last death try? Does that tire your guys out, or does that spur you on?
Um, physically, potentially, but mentally, it's a big boost. And
Mm,
not to put not to knock you there, Cal, but there's times where we've had the week off, had the home semi-final and blown it. So it's
yeah,
not always an advantage having that week off, but
yeah, yeah.
again, we'll just see how it goes on the day.
What do you think, Carl?
Hopefully no shenanigans this time.
Go on, Carl. You got a back your team, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah, I'll back the boys, mate. But Gaz is right in what he's saying. Just because they get a week off doesn't necessarily mean it makes a difference. The only thing I would say with Rovers is they needed the week off. There
Yeah,
was two or
Yeah,
three games,
yeah, they
two
did.
or three games leading up to this game where I thought they looked leggy, they looked tired, they need a refresh and a
Did you have
reset.
any injuries, Carl?
Mickey Mack. Who else was injured? There's only one or two, mate. There weren't many.
No.
Not what springs to mind,
but
anyway.
you want to go up
Uh,
against the strongest possible squad, don't you?
Yeah,
yeah, of course you do. I don't know what's happening with Burgess. I know he was injured, but whether he was back or not, we'll see when they release the 21-man squad in the week. I'm confident, and I'm more confident because we're at home. Everybody at Craven Park, they put on a massive atmosphere and a
In
show.
years, Craven Park's been a nightmare for us. Even before, you were kicking on. Even when you were like just got promoted and you're down the bottom of the table, so even then we struggled. I don't know what it is. It's a bit of a
Mm,
bogey stadium for us that.
I
yeah,
mean
I
Leeds played at
think.
home, didn't they? So, it
Oh,
worked for Leeds,
oh,
didn't
hey
it?
up, here we go. He's back. Billy Big Bollocks is back.
Long
I
time he's
won't
not
say
always
what I'm going to
been.
say because it'll upset you, mate.
Long time he's not always been off, was it? So
Hey, mate, fair play to you. That is the only
Oh,
game I've missed this year. I've been to all the other home and away games, and I was sat on the beach in Tenerife and watching it on my phone when went round those tenders over. So
yeah,
credit to
do you
you
want to
for
book your
that.
flight, Cal?
But Yeah, but I think, in all seriousness, I think I do back the boys, and you like to say they've been good majority of the season, obvious reasons, and I expect and I think they will just shade it, and that's not me being biased. That's my honest opinion.
Right, before we move on, score prediction.
Oh, F off.
Go on, score
I'm,
prediction.
I'm going to go 18-8 Rovers.
18-8 Rovers. Mm.
I'm gonna have to go both ways here. I think if we're gonna win the game, it'll be by a small margin, by like 2 points. If KR win, I think it'll be a bigger gap. I think there'll be about a 14, 16 point gap.
Fair, fair.
That's as far as I'm going.
Right,
I was
okay, no
say,
worries.
can you just take that fence from off your monitor, guys, that you sat on?
Yeah. Oh no. Listen, after our season, I'm firmly on the fence.
No, I
Oh,
think for sure it'll be an entertaining game regardless.
yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Oh, Jordan, I mean Jordan, yeah. Okay.
He's already told us it's his second favourite team.
Oh, there we go.
I'd love to see KR win. I really would. Thought semi-finals. Obviously, going to be a big grand final regardless. I think everyone's done well this season. Like I say, your top six. Obviously, if you go off the table, obviously everything's worked out right, apart from obviously Leeds. So you've got your top three there that are in semis, and then obviously you got your fifth, which was Saints. So apart from the Rhinos, everything's kind of how it should be, really, isn't it? With
Yeah.
position finish.
You know
So
yourself, Jordan. How many times have Leeds like been fifth and got on to win the lot?
yeah,
I mean,
no, yeah,
it's
100%.
not out of reach, but
Yeah, no,
oh, no,
yeah,
we'll see. I
yeah.
think that wraps it up. So, a massive thank you there to everyone listening and all the support. And feel free to keep subscribing, commenting, and liking, and tell us how good or bad you think we are. And also, a massive thank you again to Acorn Joinery Leeds for the support.